Hi guys, so good afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon. It is the seventh day, right? I'm correct, yes, 7th day of March 2020. Now, I know a lot of you follow me, and some of you started following me after the video that I did on election day, which was voting day. I urged a lot of you not to go to the polls and do nonsense. And you didn't only heed my call, you heed the call of others who want Guyana's best interest and who have Guyana's best interest. I seem to be tying up my words today. If you're hearing something in the background, it's the ongoing court matter regarding our elections and the results of the elections and so forth, and sorting that entire thing out. I'm not here to talk about that specifically. I'm not here to talk about that at all. I'm not a lawyer. I like to leave certain things for the people who are the experts in their field. So I am not going to be telling you about what is happening in the court and how it's happening. You have the mainstream media for that. I wanted to do this video since yesterday, the 6th. And most of you, especially those of you, because by now I know most of the followers of this YouTube vlog, they live overseas. And most of you by now would have been reading online stories and from various, wherever you're getting it, whether you're getting it Facebook, whether you're getting it YouTube or newspapers or your family directly. Most of you would have seen what happened yesterday. And I got so emotional yesterday that I really wanted to do this video yesterday. But for the same reason, I didn't do the video, because I was too emotional. So I pulled back. I held back and I decided, look, let me take the entire night to calm down and then deal with it. I was just, all along, I was watching. I was watching as everything unfolded, and I decided, look, because maybe I've been in this for so long, I've gotten immune to a whole lot of things. But you know what pushed me over the edge yesterday? The fact that this nation's children were attacked. That is terrorism. On the children, and let me stop right here. Let me take a pause for the defenders of those persons who were involved in that sort of behavior. You see that nonsense that is going on the East Coast? Again, I like to remind you, because of the agency that I am attached to now, certain things I cannot and I will not say to protect the integrity of the agency that I am attached to as a public relations officer. But you see that nonsense that is happening on the East Coast? That's all I'm going to say about that. But the reason I got so emotional is because you attacked our nation's children. And let me clear the air. This is what I paused to say. I spoke out about it on Facebook. And someone came and commented. That is not the only place I saw the comment. People who are defending those persons who are misbehaving, who are behaving like terrorists on the East Coast, and who are behaving, mind you, I'm not saying they are hooligans, the way they called in the past people from another organization hooligans. I'm saying they're behaving as though they're hooligans. You know, one person had the nerve to come on my page and defend them, to say, well, in all fairness, they didn't attack the school children. They attacked the David Granger bus. Now, if you see a David Granger bus passing through a community on a weekday, on a Friday, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, who do you think is in this bus? Gunmen and drug dealers? Who are supposed to be in the bus? Not school children? And these buses, the windows, let's clear something up. This nonsense about, it's not the chair under the attacking, it's the bus. The buses are not tinted. You can see through them. So that nonsense, that cop-out, that is not the children they were attacking, it's the bus, is a load of crap, and people know it. I am saying, and I'm not calling on anybody to do anything, so don't come and do not. Trust me, I am not in the mood. This time you wouldn't even get an opportunity to comment and attack me or anything that I'm saying, do not come on this thread, do not come on this vlog and tell me any nonsense, because this has to do with Guyana's children. If we adults don't know how to handle ourselves and fix our own damn mess, don't involve those little innocent children in it. So do not come on this vlog and tell me any nonsense and try to defend. Don't bring your nasty politics here either, because when you attack a nation's children, it has gone past politics. It is now personal. And yes, I said it and I will repeat it. They are behaving as though they are hooligans. Let's move on. Unfortunately, we have to move on from the children. In Guyana, we have a culture. Oh, the police don't do nothing. They don't protect me. They don't do nothing. Another massive attack was launched on the members of the Guyana police force. Unfortunately, one of the protesters were eventually shot dead. But this is after attacking the police. Now, from all reports indicate that at the point in time that this young man was shot and killed, the police had managed to bring the crowd and the entire situation under control. So the area was clear and everything. So it was basically an unguarded moment for the policeman. And again, reports say, it is alleged, that the young man who was shot and killed, himself part of a group, attacked one of the policemen and started chopping them. No. After taking all of that for the entire day yesterday, how do you expect the police in that one instance, again I am talking about in this one instance, where that young man was shot and killed. You tell me. He was chopping on one. How were they supposed to defend themselves? Tell me. That is complete disorder. And people don't like when you do comparisons. But the fact is, years gone by and the older folks and the people my age would have more understand this. The police would have had absolutely no restraint. A former colleague of mine was shot in his back. And I'm trying not to call names on this vlog to implicate anybody, but he was shot in his back with pellets. If you Google, you will find the photo right there. It is never going away. It is never going anywhere. And it wasn't the sort of thing that we saw on the east coast of Denmark. I'm happy that our police officers the wonderful men and women of the Guyana police force would have learned to restrain themselves. I am happy. But what the people who I am calling on now, especially those of you who are going to come on this thread and try to bring your racial slangs and you're supporting this party and this leader and the leader, tell the people that are causing all of this nonsense, especially there on the east coast of Denmark, to stop it. Understand, to every action there is a reaction. Again, I'm not calling on anybody to react. I'm still calling, like so many of the responsible people in society that would have already asked people to stay calm, I'm calling on them to remain calm. But understand that to every action there's a reaction. Emotions are something that takes some of us over. And when you're going to attack people and they feel as though they're not getting any sort of satisfaction, what do you expect to happen? So those who know they're responsible and they have clout and whatever, the ones who they hire to come on videos like this one and try to attack people like me, save that energy and take it to your leaders and tell them to get people off the streets and to stop this nonsense. Let the law take its course. Let whatever procedures are in place to work. As I did say to you, I'm not here to talk about the Constitution and the legal rights, who did what statement of polls and all of that. I leave that to the expert, the people. If that's their field, let them deal with that. But I am saying to you people who have influence and you know who's who and what is what, get your people off the streets. This is not a threat. Some of you are going to come on this vlog with ignorance. This is not a threat. This is me calling on you to get people off the streets for the peace of this nation. The line has already been crossed because our children were injured, and thank God. None of them were badly damaged. Of course, they're traumatized. Some of them are indeed traumatized, but thank God when it comes to being physically hurt, God really and truly did protect them, and He was watching over them. Stop this. Stop this. It is out there in the public domain. And again, it's a case where we continue. There we are, we're airing our dirty laundry. And we're not allowing you cannot, it is not right for you to say, oh, the police are protecting me, the police are doing this, the police are doing, but then who's protecting the police? When you treat the police like that, and something happens in your community, when all of this dies down, and everything returns to normal, and you treat the police like that, and something happens in your community, and you call on the same police that you're out in the streets trying to shoot and kill and maim and injure, who you expect to come? And you again, I'm just trying to make everything clear. I'm not telling the police when you call, don't go, but I'm telling you that it's called human nature, and we're all human beings. And I'm saying, talk to your people, talk to your relatives, talk to your friends, because it is also for their own safety. Get people off the streets. And another thing I want to address, you people who are copying and pasting and sharing everything, my God, why do you need to do that? The majority, some of you are not credible journalists. You're not authentic journalists. You're not journalists at all. Why are you continuing to share? Because when you do that, understand that you're driving fear and panic into people that is not needed at this point in time, because we already have enough of that. The reality is, a lot of that is happening. You are just adding, fuel to the flames. Stay off of it. Let things take its course. Let everything be done the legal way. Let the politicians do what they're doing. And most importantly, let GCOM do its work. I mean, I know there are lots of other things that I really want to say, but because I realized from the time I started talking about some of these things that would have happened yesterday, I started to get, as I talk to you, I'm starting to get emotional now. And when we're emotional, we really have to tread lightly and be careful what we say. But this Guyana is our Guyana. Even those of you who are living overseas and planning to return home. This is our Guyana, and if we don't protect it, you will have nothing to return home to. So, let's do what we can. Try to stay as calm as possible. It is very difficult. I can tell you, speaking from experience, it is very, very difficult. But those are the messages. And we're seeing a number of things. You know, I was just talking about a woman. It is like, I'm wondering if these people are demon-possessed. I'm talking about a woman who just... And lots of you would have seen it already. This is the vehicle, and she stood right there. And a cone came out of nowhere and knocked her out of the way. I mean, some of us laughed at it eventually, but you, again, I always talk about it. You don't have no respect for this body that God gave you if you're going to stand in front of a moving vehicle and basically, without saying it, you're basically daring the driver, hit me. Hit me now, knock me now. Just take some time, and notice how I'm taking my time today and not rambling as usual. Take some time to think about all of these things and how it is looking. So that's what I'm saying. Those of you, especially those of you overseas who are watching this, talk to your friends, talk to your relatives. And for now, tell them, if you don't absolutely have to go, especially persons living in that area, in that side of the country. And for those of you, again, those of you who don't understand what is happening and you're seeing these little clips and, oh, you think the entire Guyana is on fire. People, please understand, this is a country of 10 administrative regions. We're very big. We may not have a lot of people. We may not be heavily populated, but we're a very big country. So understand, if you see a tire in the middle of the road or a vehicle in the middle of the road and it's on fire, it don't mean Guyana on fire. It doesn't even mean an entire region or an entire village is on fire. All right? So just take some time to think about those things. But as I was saying, let your friends and family, and this is the thing, stay out of the way. Stay out of the flames, stay out of the tension. If they have no, especially those living in that part of the country, if there's no reason for them to go on, don't go on the road looking for trouble, especially the young men and the young women, because I know when you're taunted, you're going to get angry. And your passion is going to come out and you're going to react. And by the time you finish reacting and your emotions die down, then you're going to realize, oh shucks, look what I just did. And you're in trouble for life. It takes seconds to get into trouble, but an entire lifetime to get out of it. So as we wait to hear, I know it's a little heartbreaking. As I told you, I'm not here to fend and proof and discuss all of that here. I have my own personal opinions. People who know me know that I would discuss these things internally all the time, 24/7. For the past week, this is all my fiance and I have been talking about. Our opinion, who's right and who's wrong. But again, I will not say any of those that publicly because of the agency that I'm attached to. I will not compromise them. So just be clear. It's not that Malika is an airhead or Malika head is empty or she don't know what's happening in our country in terms of the politics. I refuse to have that discussion on camera. But I have these discussions all the time. This particular vlog is just, again, for me to remind some of you that we're human beings. You know, there's also the other issue of race. I will come back and I will talk about that another time. Either tomorrow or sometime later down in the week, because Guyana, we have a race issue. However, I am of a slightly different opinion where a lot of things are concerned about race. So I'm going to gather my thoughts together because, again, I have these discussions all the time with people who are close to me. But I know I get emotional. So I'm going to come back another time and talk to you about race and really and truly how I feel. People believe that Guyana only has a race issue when there is an election, because it's either Afro-dominant government or an Indo-dominant government. People tend to believe that. I, however, am of a different opinion that many of you will not like. But as I said, I'm not going to talk about that now. I am going to end this vlog here for now. And hope and pray that the peace and calm in our nation is restored. Keep in mind, for 5 years, we had peace and we had calm in this nation. Keep in mind, a certain person said, linking it to an election, if they think that they're going to enjoy the sort of peace that they're enjoying now, they can think again. And that is what I'm going to leave you with, so that you can read between the lines and see where all of this is coming from and understand that nothing that happened yesterday on the East Coast in terms of the violence and the destruction, none of it was sporadic and none of it occurred overnight. I'll leave this blog here for now. As always, don't just view my videos. Comment, decent, respectful, and peaceful comment. Do not come and bring any of the nastiness that I'm seeing on Facebook, because I'm not going to even respond to you. I will block you. I have no problems with that. So click, comment, like, share, and please do subscribe. And for those of you who've always subscribed and always looking out for my videos, thanks for always watching. I love you for watching and I love you for supporting. Stay safe, take care of your friends and families, and I'll try to talk to you. Well, today is Saturday, so I'll try to talk to you as early as possible in the new week. Take care.